Hey BookTube, Chelsea the Reading Outlaw here to do my November TBR, one of 3 November TBRs. This is the TBR for books that I plan to read that don't fit into either Tome Topple or Nonfiction November. I have given myself a little bit of a theme month, mostly because I love books that fit this theme and also because it's my birthday month. Are you tired of me saying it yet? It's my birthday month. First of all, which side note, can we just get a little bit of love for these stunning self-purchases today at the Savers? Ah, shit, yeah. A little early birthday treat to me, and I love them to death. But yeah, I recently subscribed to Pop Goes the Reader on Patreon. I will link her Patreon down below so that you can go check her out. She's an absolutely wonderful and avid middle grade and young adult book reviewer and blogger, and part of her Patreon reward system at the level I subscribe to is themed recommendation book lists. So the most recent one that she put out was literally like in the middle of my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse was like built around it, and that is books about fandom or fanish people. So I have got quite a little stack here. These are all books that I have not read yet. There were several on the list that I had already gotten to, things like Geekerella, Queen of Geek, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, all titles that I recognized and loved. But I wanted to read some things that were still new to me, so I didn't spend all of November rereading because I have a rereading thing that I'm doing that I'll talk about at the end of the video. But first up, we have Gina and Finn by Hannah Moskowitz and Kat Hegelson. This is a book that does a format thing that I really love, which is that it is all in like emails, DMs, text messages, and is about Gina, we shall see. Gina and Finn, who are 2 writing partners who write fan fiction together, who maybe come to meet one day in real life. That's kind of what the cover copy says. Summary: you never know where your best friend is waiting for you. We went online to write and draw, to play with our favorite characters, to create stories. The story we ended up writing was our own. Which, that's another thing I love. Like, even the inside cover copy is done, oh god, this glare, I'm so sorry, is done in the style of like an AO3 header subject posting, which I just adore. I love following Hannah Moskowitz on Twitter. I have her Sick Kids in Love book as an ARC loaded on my Kindle, waiting for the first of the year. So I'm very, very excited to get to this one. Next up, we have Scarlett Epstein Hates It Here by Anna Breslaw. This book sounds a little bit like fan fiction lurker meets Gossip Girl. Scarlett Epstein loves her fandom community and is a super big name in like the fan fiction and message board community online, but in real life knows very, very, very few people. One day, the show that she loves so much is canceled, and in a fit of desperation, she takes to the message boards and begins to write RPF, real person fiction, about the people that go to her school. So all of a sudden, we have entered this world of fictionalizing real people's lives, people that she knows, and the kinds of problems that can create for her. I'm very excited to get into this. There is always the issue of navigating an online identity versus an IRL identity, especially when they're very different in terms of like your social group, your social interaction, how that develops and manifests itself. So I'm really, really looking forward to a book that kind of digs into that. The next book that I have that fits his category is All the Feels by Danica Stone. This is a book about Liv, whose favorite television show is canceled, and she gets so pissed that when that happens to her, she launches a fan campaign to get the show brought back. This involves recruiting one of her best friends, Xander, into helping her by exchanging helping making a steampunk costume for one of his upcoming Comic-Con cosplays. They then end up heading to the con in what sounds like kind of a road trip meets on the road young adult romance with heavy doses of fandom and fandom feels. I love it. I love the idea of fandom activism. I am interested to see how this book handles fandom activism from a good place versus fandom activism for like white supremacy. I'm thinking specifically of like the Star Wars vein of aggressive particular stipulative fandom. So anyway, I'm very much so looking forward to. There's a lot of meta issues around fandom that I'm hoping some of these books tackle. After that, we have Grace and the Fever by Zan Romanoff. This is a book that reminds me a little bit of Almost Famous based on the description. This is a book about Grace, who, again, as a theme in these books, online lives a very quiet life, but on the message boards is the like #1 fan writer about The Fever, which is a boy band group. When a series of events at a concert leads her to being flashed in a paparazzi picture, like taking a paparazzi picture of her with one of the lead singers of this group, she kind of joins the boys and joins the tour for, I think is kind of like a social media manager, fan correspondent kind of thing. The cover copy doesn't make it clear, and I didn't want to do too much more digging in, but she has to join the band and suddenly kind of get to know these boys as real life people, while also navigating her previous standing within the fandom, just as well as being a teenage girl on the road with the people that you admire and the people who you might be falling in love with, and just how to navigate a persona versus a real identity and where those two things can overlap and where they contrast. All of those really, really great juicy details that I love in a young adult novel. And the last book we have on this theme is Chaotic Good by Whitney Gardner. This is a story that looks at taking on fandom misogyny through a very like historically used trope. In this book, Cameron loves gaming, comic books, nerd culture, and she wants more than anything to be able to embrace that and participate in that at her local comic book shop. Fortunately, her local comic book shop is staffed by a really misogynistic dude bro who never gives her any credit or any benefit of the doubt or any room to participate. So she dresses up as boy Cameron, enters into the world, and is shocked at how easily she's accepted. Only then she's further like embraced into this lifestyle. The manager starts maybe flirting with him/her, and it's just one of those kind of classic cross-dressing tropes. I always get a little wary with that kind of thing when it comes to like gender representation, gender dynamics, potential violation of like sensitivity to trans issues and stuff. So I will report back. But the idea of infiltrating and getting under the skin of and kind of taking on that misogynistic comic gatekeeping culture is what caught my eye about this book. So those are all of the books kind of on a theme. However, like I said at the top of the video, I am also doing a rereading project. As opposed to bringing all the books down because you know what they look like, I am rereading my own original fandom books, and that is the Harry Potter books. If you haven't seen it yet, somehow, this is the first one. This is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, but it is the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful illustrated edition. I am mostly, oh God, look at that. Look at that. That's Hagrid's hut. It's gorgeous. I'm sorry about the glare. But I have received the first 3 of these. They're already out, and I am anticipating receiving the 4th one either for my birthday or for Christmas. But I am re-listening to all of these on audio. I love the Harry Potter books. It has actually been a really long time since I read all 7 books back to back and actually consumed the entire series, as opposed to just like my favorite chunks of my favorite books from the series. So I'm really, really excited to just to remind myself of all of the things that I truly love about Harry Potter before Joanne went and stepped in it. So yeah, those are my reading plans for November that aren't either nonfiction or giant fantasy tome novels. Let me know down below what you're reading, what some of your favorite fandom or fanish books are. If you have more recommendations for this category, please let me know. Please go check out Pop Goes the Reader's Patreon down below, or just Patreons in general if you have a couple extra dollars and are looking for an artist rattling can to toss them in. Art needs support, and as a consumer and creator of art myself, I absolutely love participating in Patreon every month. It is some of the money that I feel best about spending. So yeah, let me know down below what you're currently reading, what you're currently up to, what your holiday plans are looking like, and if you're planning on reading anything. Like, subscribe, leave me an emoji to let me know that you made it this far, and until next time, friends, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have happy reading.